Entering the modern day, I was expecting to find very few nose artworks. With wars becoming more asymmetrical, the risk to pilots becomes less and less. That isn't to say that there isn't any risk, but when you consider that the US lost nearly 10,000 aircraft over Vietnam, compared to 7 US aircraft including UAVs during the fight against ISIS, you can understand why I would expect nose art to fade out. The Canadians have done some very large artworks. To commemorate their 150th Air Force anniversary, they had this rather striking artwork. They also did this artwork for the 2018 Royal International Air Tattoo. They also have this incredible tiger meat artwork. Of course, how can you talk about aircraft artworks without discussing tiger meat? Tiger meat is a meeting of NATO squadrons who have tigers in their squadron crest. It's not just a way for NATO air forces to share ideas and experiences, it's a public relations exercise, and as such, many of the aircraft attending have very large, extravagant artworks. The Spanish have done some incredible tail artworks, featuring different styles of tigers. This German Tornado paid homage to NATO with this beautiful two-tone artwork. This green Eurofighter would have stood out against the mostly orange and black liveries we see at Tiger Meet. I love this RF-4E artwork. We're not going to talk about how it's from 1984, so it technically isn't modern, but I still chose to include it because it's on my favourite aircraft. But the kings of Tiger Meet artworks are the French. They do of course do simple stripes like many other countries, but I love their more stylized stripes, like this design on this Mirage. I love the contrast between the red and white design and the black and gold stripes on this Rafale. My personal favourite is this Rafale's design. It isn't the most complicated design, but there is beauty in its simplicity. I love the way the sun reflects off the metallic gold. It's a truly stunning artwork. There have been a number of Tiger Meet helicopters, from Hueys to Gazelles to Pumas. The Czech Republic has some incredible artworks on their Mi-24s. Like this kinda goofy looking artwork with a cartoon tiger. But this alien design is one of the more famous ones, and I, to be honest, hate it. I love the Mi-24. It's a truly fearsome looking helicopter. But I hate airbrushed artworks. It's my least favourite medium. I 100% respect the attention to detail and craftsmanship of this artwork, but I just personally don't like it. It isn't my least favourite artwork, as this disgusting, awful, abhorrent minion on a lynx takes the cake by far. There are hundreds of other incredible Tiger Meet artworks out there, and I'll leave some links to some Tiger Meet trailers, as seeing these artworks in motion is incredible. I neglected to talk about Russian nose art in previous episodes, as finding dates was tricky. However, in researching this episode, I was disappointed to not find many artworks. There were some small icons and slogans, like on this MiG-29 or this Su-27, and this small cute face on this Su-27. Tu-160s have the flag of the Russian Air Force on their plane and the name of the aircraft. Out of the 16 Tu-160s in service, 9 are named after military or test pilots, 4 are after aircraft designers, and the rest are named after a famous Russian general, a Russian folk hero, and a Soviet wrestling champion. The Russians do have one pretty incredible nose artwork. This shark, which from one angle looks fine, but from any other angle looks like a mess of blue with a set of jaws. It's like a cool optical illusion artwork that from one angle looks incredible, but from any other angle it just looks like nothing. And to be honest, I like it. One nation that took me by surprise was China. They have some incredible stylized logos on their J-11s, like this incredibly creative eagle, or this other eagle, or this shark. I love this tiger logo on this Su-27SK. I love how aggressive it looks, and the colours they chose perfectly contrast the light grey of the aircraft. I wouldn't be able to find these artworks without the help of this fellow. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, a link to his Twitter is in the description. Interestingly, they even had a nose artwork on a new J-20 stealth aircraft before it got its stealth coating put on. One nation that absolutely did not take me by surprise was Japan. They have the best, I repeat, the best modern nose art of any nation, period. Of course, I am biased. I love the F2 and the F4 Phantom, and so any artwork on it looks incredible to me. Also, the typical Japanese Air Force camo is rather incredible, even on its own. Let's first have a look at some Japanese F-15 artworks. The F-15 provides a massive, flat canvas that artists in Japan have exploited in many different ways. These incredible, bright flames look stunning mid-flight. This dragon utilizes almost all the canvas provided in an extraordinary way. Here is the 305th Squadron's commemorative 40-year anniversary livery. I love the combination of the Japanese flat art style and the modern digital camo. It's fucking gorgeous. Here is the same squadron's commemorative 50-year anniversary. It's a more traditional Japanese flat artwork that looks stunning. Here is their 60th anniversary livery. I love all the flowers, and it's very reminiscent of my all-time favourite artwork, which is coming up. My love affair with the next plane started from one of the best YouTube recommendations I have ever gotten. 1300 is a channel about the Japanese Air Force. But it's more than that. 1300 tells the story of the F4's retirement from active duty. No other video encapsulates the emotions of such an event like Good Morning Hyakuri Ground, an impassioned video about 1300's feelings about the retirement of the F4 Phantom. I love every single one of 1300's videos, and I highly recommend you check him out. We saw some fantastic farewell artworks like the 302nd Squadron, which took their squadron crest and made it into a full livery. I love the 301st Squadron's farewell artwork, and thanks to 1300 we get to see this beauty in flight. I love the bright colours and the jaws at the front of the aircraft. It's sad seeing such iconic aircraft getting retired, and I am thankful that 1300 is capturing these incredible memories. And now I finally get to gush about my favourite nose artwork ever. Weirdly, it's not on an F4 Phantom, but on an F2 Viper Zero. It's another commemorative artwork. On March 26, 2020, the 3rd Tactical Fighter Squadron moved from Misawa Air Base to Hyakuri Air Base. To commemorate the move, they had this artwork created. It isn't the largest, most brightly coloured artwork we have seen, but it tells a story of the passing of seasons and the passage of time. Every story has a beginning, and every story has an end. The US Air Force policy still remains a sort of a soft ban on nose art. The only way for nose art to be permanent is for it to go through an extensive approval process. To get around this, many pilots have resorted to using chalk, which means it can be easily washed off. Many U-2s actually use chalk for their artworks. We still see so-called airshow darlings, aircraft with extensive artworks, like this F-15 from the 173rd Fighter Wing, or this 111th Fighter Squadron F-16, with a paint job honouring the squadron's 90th birthday. These artworks of course will never go overseas and are designed for publicity purposes. Do you want to see what modern combat nose artwork looks like on a stealth aircraft? Yep. Without the giant red circle you might have missed it. 108 years of tradition. 108 years of some of the most gorgeous, extravagant artworks the world has ever seen. Culminating in this, some scratches you can barely see. If a large-scale conflict were to happen in the future, am I saying that we won't see large-scale nose artworks? Of course not. But I think it would resemble this, and not this. There is a silver lining. If the Japanese retirement of the F4 Phantoms has taught me anything, it's that the best artworks may still be to come. As militaries around the world retire their 3rd and 4th gen fighters, they, like Japan, may give them one last hurrah with giant, incredible artworks.